Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. And also to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on the physical appearance of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. Once again, Shalom. So basically, as you can see before I get into this lesson, okay, touching or doing a response, okay, off this video, okay, which is off one of the beloved brothers amongst the ministry, okay, that's in the faith. As you can see his channel, the Hopeful Elect 3, okay, and subscribe, okay, always putting up good videos, okay, when it comes to current news, okay, and when it comes to, social media, okay, when it comes to the reaction of the people, when it comes to end time prophecy, okay, because we definitely at the end time when it comes to this place of America, which is known as Babylon the Great. As you can see the title he gave it, Babylon the Great is finished, okay, when it comes to this place of America, okay, which at this time is being ruled by the biblical Edomites, okay, the so-called white race, okay. When it comes to these elites on down, when I say these elites, okay, the illuminated ones that they call themselves, okay, all these central bankers, okay, that's in power, down to the less illuminated ones doing their government, doing their bidding when it comes to these government officials, okay, such as, your presidents, okay, your mayors, senators, senators, counselors, okay, as we at the time now, they're trying to forge the NWO, okay, especially when it comes to this place, America. Hey, because this place, America, is on the verge of its collapse, as it's prophesied in the scriptures. Okay, once again, Babylon the Great, okay, on the verge of its downfall and the destruction. Excuse me. It could ultimately, this place, America, going to be destroyed at the peak of the Third World War by the way of thermonuclear fire, okay, and also leading to the time of who the world ignorantly called Christ, which his name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew, meaning he is the deliverer, he is the savior, second coming, when it comes to Yahweh Shai returning by the hosts of angels, okay, what the world called UFOs, which are the vehicles or the chariots of the angels, okay, and Yahweh Shai bringing war at the peak of the Third World War against these nations' armies, okay, and the great destruction of this place, America, leading to that. And simultaneously, the Lord only going to deliver the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, of Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, okay, which the elect will consider the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved, okay. Once again, those are so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American descent by the seed of your father, okay, because 2/3, according to Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8, okay, going to be cut off and judged in the up and coming plagues here upon this place America, okay, mainly this place America, okay, as we're approaching also the time of Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7, okay, but prior, okay, to this place being ultimately being destroyed by missiles and the chariots bringing fire, okay, like I say, Jacob's trouble is approaching, and this place is about to witness a time like no other, okay, the coming of civil unrest, uproars of the people, martial law, okay, concentration camps, okay, famine, pestilence, okay, and also the key main prophecy of end time prophecy is the coming of the RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast. Revelation chapter 13 verse 16. Okay, a physical device, electronic device that's going to replace the physical dollar. Okay, at this place on the verge of a financial crash, man. Okay, and as these elites, and like I say, the less illuminated ones doing their bidding, trying to forge the NWO. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video, and you know, this Jake. When I say Jake, another way of saying a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, okay, or Israelite, which you know we say Jake. Okay, when it comes to Hebrew Israelite slang, okay, short for Jacob, and the Jake, going into how America, okay, is not going to be the same anymore. Okay, as people, witnessing this place downfall, man. Okay, when it comes to 2/3 of our people and these heathens, and when it comes to these heathens, Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations, there's no salvation for them, but judgment is coming for them, because they are our enemies. Okay, and the Lord is not dealing with all nations. The Lord only dealing with the nation of Israel, and at this time, the elect. Okay, so we about to witness great judgment here on the shores of America, man. Okay, like I said, the coming of civil unrest. Okay, martial law, concentration camps. Okay, the coming of famine, pestilence. Okay, the MOTB being implemented, and ultimately this place being destroyed by the way of thermonuclear fire at the peak of the Third World War, man. Okay, and this place is also known as our captivity when it comes to us, the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, which Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is coming back to deliver us from. Okay, once again, starting with the elect. Okay, so ain't no returning for this place to be prospered, man. Okay, it had its run through prophecy. Now, according to prophecy, we coming to its downfall, man. And eventually, Yahweh Shai returning to liberate the elect of the nation of Israel, and Yahweh Shai establishing his kingdom. Okay, and we're gonna rule over all these heathen nations. And the heathen nations, their future is captivity upon us in the land of Israel. Okay, which, by the way, the land of Israel gonna be cleansed by the way of fire, by missiles. Okay, at the peak of the Third World War, because the people that's over there are not the true inheritors, as they stole our land from us. During the time of the 48ers, and I'll keep it like that. Okay, but that land gonna be cleansed because the people that's over there are Esau, Edom, in particular Amalek, and that land gonna be cleansed just for us to rightfully own our land again. And throughout the process of time, okay, you're gonna have the elites of Esau, Edom, and other heathen nations that are gonna be reserved after the aftermath of the Third World War. Okay, just to be reserved to go into captivity upon us, the nation of Israel, starting with the elect once again, being coming out of the heavens from the chariots. Okay, New Jerusalem, Revelation chapter 21, verse 1, going into how Yahweh Shai is going to descend the elect back here on the earth, which is going to lead to Yahweh Shai kingdom being established. And these heathen nations, okay, starting with the elites of Esau, Edom, and these superpowers that's going to be reserved, going to build up our kingdom. Okay, but now we're in the process of time of this place, America, about to be destroyed, man. Okay, and once America be destroyed, it's never going to be inhabited again by nations. Okay, once the fire and smoke dies down, it's going to become a desert. Okay, and only things that's going to inhabit this place is desert-like creatures. Okay, so let me go ahead and play it.
Nothing is going back to normal. I need us as Americans to fully grasp that nothing is going to go back to normal or be the same after this. Some things are irreversible. A lot of Americans have this mindset that once Trump is over, things are going to reverse, and that isn't true. If Trump gets us into a global recession, if not a global depression, you're not going to fix that in a matter of 4 years. It's going to take possibly a decade. Do people forget that the Great Depression lasted for 12 years? From the stock market crash in 1929 until the start of World War II. That's 12 years. Are people aware that when the oil embargo of the 70s happened, it wasn't until the 80s that things got back on track? So if we're going to have an economic downturn, a severe economic downturn, especially with the petrodollar declining, it is going to take years, if not over a decade, for things to get fixed or corrected, if ever.
Okay, so you heard it, Jake. Okay. You know, when it comes to him explaining it out about, you know, how America ain't never gonna bounce back. Okay. Especially ever since, 2020. Okay, but this place been, on a rapid decline. Okay, when Trump first got in office, okay, and Biden stepped in, did his 4 years, now Trump back in, okay, which they all do the bidding of these elites when it comes to, like I say, these presidents. Doesn't matter who they put in office. Okay, but now, they want to get rid of, when it comes to these elites, okay, the normal way as, here in America when it comes to the government, when it comes to politics, the Democrats and the Republicans, like I said, which they do both work for the bidding of the elites. But now everything moving towards a technocracy. Okay, everything moved by technology and AI. And that's when that RFID micro is going to come in place at, okay, the MOTB. Okay, as now, these elites trying to set up the image, okay, of the beast, right along with their mark. Okay, so technology going to take over everything. Okay, when it comes to more tyranny, dictatorship, but like I say, AI. Okay, yeah, so America ain't going to bounce back, man. And mainly, it's prophecy. Okay, because like you say, man, it's going to take years. Okay, if this place to prosper, to get back on track. Yeah, but it's not, man. Okay, it had its run. Okay, and things are moving quick. Okay, when it comes to prophecy. But that's Elder Apostle Tahar been quoting lately. I think one of the a former president, okay, prime minister from Russia, okay, right before Putin, years before Putin, okay, I forgot his name, but the quote, that he say that when it comes to decades, okay, and when it comes to weeks, okay, decades can happen. Okay, matter of fact, hold on, give me a minute real quick. Okay, so excuse me for that. It's a lot for that. I find it. Okay, the quote off of AI overview. Okay, off of Google. And this is the quote by Vladimir Lenin. And it says, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. It's a famous quote, a tribute to Vladimir Lenin. Okay? Yeah, so we seeing things now happen. Okay, when it comes to, for decades, for years. Okay, when it comes to this place, America. Okay, which a decade represent, 10 years. And America has been ruling ever since 1776. Okay, also now we're coming to the time of the 250th anniversary of America. Okay, when it comes to May, okay, 1776. Okay, where they, really announced it during the time of July the 4th of 1776. Okay, 250 years approaching them that time this summer. Okay, and it's known that empire, okay, roughly lasts 250 years. Okay, so that's another indicator that we're coming to the downfall of America. Okay, but it says there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. Okay, so in one point in time, everything kind of moves slow when it comes to the downfall of this place, America, especially as Esau Edom at this peak of his empire. Okay, well, roughly during the time of 1969 here on out, or from there on out to now, this place has been rapidly on a decline. Okay, to the point that now within these couple of years now, okay? This year alone, and going back to last year, okay? Decades have been happening, okay? Okay, when it comes to, when it says there are weeks where decades happen, okay? Because things moving quick, okay? So that's it on that. Let me see. So I just wanted to get that quote, and now I get into the scriptures. So we're in the appointed time of this place, America, man. Okay, well, that's Habakkuk chapter 2. Let's get that real quick before I open up with Jeremiah. Yeah, cause ain't no returning to its prosperous state when it comes to this place, America. Okay, it's had its run when it comes to wickedness, man. It could over here in America, they push his do as thou will. Like I say, because Esau Edom is ruling. Okay, the wicked himself or themselves. Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, because everything that Esau Edom does is contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, and really, they get their power from Satan. Okay, the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, that's why they're pushing more and more Satanism or being against anti-Christ or anti-Messiah. Okay, which we say anti-Messiah. Okay, because the word Christ means anointed, which in the Hebrew you would say Mashiach, okay, or the English way, Messiah. And we know that everything that Esau Edom does and these heathen nations and 2/3 of our people that have been enticed by them is contrary to the Messiah, okay, the ways of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, okay, and the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, okay, which proved that they are more and more the wicked, okay, because do as thou will over here, okay, we see the Satanism that being pushed, the different sets of religions, okay, idol worship, the hedonistic customs that being exposed more and more, okay, who these elites really worship, okay, that they're not a God-fearing country, that the Bible, okay, all in America is don't uphold the Bible as the law of the land, okay, because they are the wicked. Let's get this. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And that's us as the calling of faith, okay, us are the hopeful elect. When it comes to us evolving the ministry and pushing his word, okay, us coming back and believing that we are the prophets, okay, which the word prophet or prophecy mean to say before. Okay, so as we in this calling, come back to our true heritage and come back acknowledging Yahweh Bashim Shai, okay, that we find out that we're Israelites. And now we have the understanding of the truth. They're able to go out there and teach, okay, and give that forewarning. Okay, another way of saying a prophet is a watchman, okay, as we're blowing the trumpet, okay, a warning of what's to come. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, when it comes to prophecies, ain't tarrying. When it comes to this place, America, okay, approaching this great destruction. And once again, the Lord set up the prophets, okay, to give that forewarning. Matter of fact, let's get this. Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what's coming to this place, America. All the signs showing towards it. Okay, great destruction of this place. Are we coming into the time of war? Okay, civil wars, race wars, clash wars, the Third World War, ultimately, the coming of pestilence, the coming of evil. The word evil means bad times. Okay, well, give me a minute. The word evil means bad times. Okay, that's all part of what coming of Jacob's trouble. Okay, martial law, detention centers. Okay, AI technology, when it comes to the RFID micro being implemented, more surveillance, okay, AI technology in the form of AI robots, okay, advanced weapons of Esau, Edom, okay, and these heathen nations, okay, that Lord going to set up, okay, to start mainly with Esau, Edom, to be that sword to come down on you tribes. Okay, we see what the whole ICE situation, National Guards being deployed, okay, FBI task forces being deployed amongst you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American neighborhoods, okay, even amongst these heathens, okay, that being oppressed, okay, by these troops, okay, and by this government, okay, even oppressing their own people, okay, when it comes to Esau, Edom, and these heathens, okay, when it comes to you average American Edomites, okay, because there's gonna be civil war, okay, and that's part of the evil times, okay, like I say, pestilence, famine, natural disasters, okay, all that's on the horizon when it comes to this place, America. And ultimately, this place being destroyed by missiles and the chariots bringing fire. And like I say, all mainly the scriptures, okay, because I'm just a spokesman. But as the scripture says, as the Lord set up the prophets, that only the elect is going to be delivered. Okay? Let's get this. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 2. And let me see. I started at 1. Thus say the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst thereof, the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Ultimately, that destroying wind is those missiles. Okay? By the way of Russia, China, Iran, okay, mainly Russia, China, okay, Iran, North Korea, okay, certain members of NATO that's going to turn on this place, America, and shoot their missiles upon this place, okay? And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in that day of trouble there shall be against her round about. And it's going to ultimately the missiles, but the fanner going into these plagues, the plagues that the Lord about to bring upon this place, America. Okay, because back in the ancient times, a fan, okay, or you lit a flame, okay, to start a fire, a spark, you had a fan, okay, that you wave amongst that spark to increase the flame, okay, to the point it come to a more and more of a increasing fire. And that's how the Lord is about to bring the plagues upon this place, America. Okay, so more and more, everything going to intensify more and more to the point that this place going to be destroyed by the way of missiles and the chariots bringing fire. Okay, I'm going to jump down to verse 6. Flee out the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity. And that's why the Lord set up the prophets, okay? Start with the men of great millstone, okay, the elder apostles, bishops, and elders, and the brethren, and the true sincere brethren on down that's out there teaching the true words of Yahweh Shema Shai, giving that warning, telling you Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, repent and come back and acknowledge Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's the only way that you're going to be covered, okay? But we know, once again, a lot of our people are not going to acknowledge Yahweh Shema Shai and the true prophets, okay? Hey, but now we're in the time of the Lord vengeance upon this place, America. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Oh yeah, when it comes to the philosophies of America, okay? When it comes to their democracy, their politics, their entertainment, okay? Their influence on the world when it comes to wickedness, once again. Okay, they got the most of these nations drunken, okay? Following after the ways of America, okay? And it says, continue on, the nations have drunken of our wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed? Okay, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto the heaven, and is lifted up unto the skies. Okay, in verse 8 says Babylon is suddenly falling. Okay, on all levels, man. The morals of the people, financially. Okay, when it comes to also on the infrastructure. Okay, it's falling. Okay, military wise, education wise. Okay, education always been a joke, a lie. Okay, when it comes to the school system. Okay, and more. Okay, the Lord bringing this place down. Okay, hold on, give me a minute. Yeah, so everything is going down, man. Okay, as once again, no point of returning for this place, America. Okay, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Okay, because balm is known for a healing ointment. Okay, and this place can't be healed. Verse 9, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up into the skies. Okay, you seeing that? Certain foreign, okay, nations, okay, that once, been in their lands, okay, throughout different generations that don't come over here, okay, to live here in America. Now they starting to flee, going back to their original homeland, okay, where they, when they come to their original region of the earth, where they, family reside at, man, these heathen nations. Hey, you even got certain Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans fleeing out of here. The passport bros, okay, or individual that trying to, just want to leave here due to how oppressing and how, this place is on a rapid decline, okay? But us are the hopeful elect, okay, the way that we're going to be delivered is by the way of the chariots, and the Lord being a covering for us in the time of Jacob's trouble, okay? Okay, because this doesn't mean physically to get on an airplane and to flee out of here, okay? Nah, it's going into spiritually for us that has been called, and us are the hopeful elect that's in the faith to come back and acknowledge Yahweh Shema Shai, and the Lord going to be our covering in the time of Jacob's trouble and be our deliverance, okay? When the Lord, show his miracles and his power, okay, when it comes to his elect, okay? But for majority of our people, they don't have the Spirit of the Lord with them. It is best for them to flee, okay? Because 2/3 of our people that stay here, they're going to get caught up into the time of Jacob's trouble, and eventually they're going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles, especially ones of our people that take that RFID microchip. That, when it comes to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, okay? And when it comes to these heathens, they're going to be destroyed off rip, okay? They either going to stay here to be destroyed, or they're going to flee to get out of this land, okay? And if they don't be destroyed outside of the land, okay, this place, America, they're going to be reserved for captivity, okay? So that's it on that. Yeah, but this place at the point of its downfall, man. And I'll probably get this, and I'll get ready to close. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and become the habitations of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit, and the cage of unclean and hateful bird. And it's going to the aftermath of this place, America, being destroyed at the peak of the Third World War by the way of the missiles and the chariots bringing fire, okay? And once again, once the fire and smoke clears, the only things that's going to inhabit this place is desert-like creatures, okay? Desert-like birds, okay, as well, okay? For all nations had drinking of her wine and the wrath of her fornication, okay? Once again, the philosophies, okay? And the idol worship and the influence of America being pushed worldwide, okay? Especially when it comes to the dollar and everything, okay? Because now, throughout process of years, you have these other countries that have been so much influenced by America, okay, that they don't took on America customs, okay, when it comes to their structure, when it comes to their mind frame, okay, when it comes to, wickedness being pushed, okay, and it says the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. Okay, because these countries known for their, especially like China, Taiwan, okay, Japan, Europe, okay, a lot of these countries, okay, known to have India, okay, Iran, okay, Saudi Arabia, when oil prices, Canada, okay, all these nations, when it comes to known for America, America is known for import country, receiving goods from other countries, okay, to gain wealth on their behalf, on America's behalf, but these other nations done grown richer and waxed fat or rich through America, okay. But now it's coming to the point that these Americans, not America, but these other nations, ready to cut off America when it comes to trades and wars, trade wars, okay, due to the sanctions and all that, okay, and due to these other countries done, build up a economy system to the point they don't need the dollar anymore, which the dollar ain't nothing but debt, and that's what they start to see more and more. That's why you hear the talks of the BRIC nations, okay, Brazil, Russia, okay, India, China, and South Africa, okay, that acronym, BRICS, okay, a lot of these nations starting to do away with the dollar, okay, because we coming in the time of America Great Judgment, okay. That's why now you're seeing more and more America pressing towards the Third World War when it comes to them trying to still be ahead of the financial game, okay, but they're losing, okay, monetarily, okay, soon, okay, and all, man, okay. And it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye not be partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And they're going to us starting, okay, mentally, spiritually, Yahweh Shema Shai, about to redeem the nation of Israel, okay, when it comes to the elect, okay. But when it's going to come upon a time when Yahweh shall return with a host of angels, okay, the chariots, to deliver the elect from out of the great destruction, from the missiles, okay, here in America, okay, and also the elect that's scattered worldwide, according to Matthew, the 24th chapter, verses 29 through 31, because you got the elect scattered worldwide, but the main deliverance is going to take place here in America, because this is where the main destruction is going to take place, okay, and ultimately, for you to be delivered from out of that great destruction, okay, us as Israelites, okay, we got to be delivered by the way of the chariots, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and that's for the elect. Reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her works, double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she fulfilled to her double. Okay, going to the Lord avenging us, man. Okay, start with the prophets, okay, the apostles and the prophets and the believers, man. Okay, or the elect. Okay, because like I said, this place is known as our captivity. Okay, we know how this place, America, was built off the enslavement and bloodshed and lies, okay, that they push upon us when it comes to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, but now the Lord about to liberate us, man. Okay, start with the elect. Okay, Revelation, and the Lord said going to be double, okay, until Esau, Edom, and these heathens, okay, once they go into captivity. But this is Revelation chapter 18, verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh have avenged you on her. Okay. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea. Okay, going to ultimately the missiles and the chariots bringing fire. Saying, this with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. Okay? So it's going into how this place going to be destroyed, man, ultimately. If we coming to that point in time. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson here. And I pray that lesson will edify. Till next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.